to stay apart.
Oh! Hey, what's up? Ken from Palm Beach Dyno here. I'm standing in front of Project Overkill, and the last time you saw this car, we took it to Texas 2K to test the stock engine and see how far it would go, and it didn't last that long. We were running nearly 1,300 rear wheel horsepower with the Whipple. Let's go ahead and check that footage out real quick.
See the same crew already hopping the wall down there, headed down towards the car.
All right, it sucked that it blew up, but now we know the limit. But what went wrong? Well, this video, we're gonna tear that engine down all the way and find out exactly what happened. But for those of you that are new here, let's review the car real quick. This car was bought specifically for GT500 development. I picked it up at the end of 2019, right after Christmas. What a great Christmas present, and brought it home. Now, normally, I'm the type of guy to instantly tear a thing up, go for the record, fastest possible. But for all the new customers of the GT500, we really didn't know much about the car, so we wanted to step through the process. So we started out with simple things like JLT intake testing, and then we moved on to ported blower testing. Our CX1100 package was part of this. It eventually morphed into that. We did header testing, and all that was brought together for the CX1100R, which was the fastest this car went on the stock blower, 903 at 156 miles per hour. Then we went ahead and switched over to the Whipple 3.8 liter supercharger. We put down 1260s on the dyno, and then went down one more pulley, so roughly 1300 at the wheels. We went a best of 879 at 160 with that setup. Then, as you saw earlier, the engine went kaboom. We already had a TKM long block standing by. It is just crazy. We're gonna go over the build. In fact, let's look under the hood because we're on to the next level of testing. The blower is gone, and we now have a Hellion sleeper kit twin turbo with the Plasma Man intake. We'll go over this car in a little bit. The good news is, as you can see, it's already put together, and it's gotten some break-in runs on the dyno that we'll show you later. Let's go ahead and watch the engine breakdown video now, and then we'll catch up in a little bit on what's new with Overkill. Adam's over here working on getting the blower off and tearing it all down so we can switch over to the new setup. Here's the supercharger lid. Was there a bunch of oil all in the lid or not really?
A little bit. It's gotta be when that piston broke, it just all got sucked up.
I think I see some shit in there.
I wonder why I just smelled fuel all of a sudden. I was like, damn, I just smelled fuel out of nowhere.
Well, there's a little bit of metal up in here. A little bit.
No holes. Check out this one.
What the hell? This one's got some oil in it too. That one's good. Oil's cool. strapped up. Badass. No. Lift. Motion brace works. For the house.
Keep going. There, higher.
All right, well, we got the transmission off as you saw. Jeremy's whipping off the flywheel right now. And Kobe's gonna run to the store real quick and get another engine stand so we can flip this thing up and get a really good look at what went down. I did wait for the engine stand to get here, so I pulled off the valve cover, and as expected, nothing's going on in here. Everything is in place on this side. And I believe this is the side we had the failure on, so that's great news. Chains are in place, valves are in place. Means we didn't get any piston to valve contact, most likely, so. All right, it's Monday morning at the shop. Jeremy got the engine out off the cart onto the engine stand for me. It's pretty much right where we left it last time. We still have not taken it apart because we wanted to do it with you guys on video. And I was a little rushed this weekend, so I didn't want to start on it. This we found in the head. There's a small witness mark on the camshaft. The valve tip is rolled over just a little bit. So the question is, did we lose this first and that's when everything went to crap, or more than likely we lost a rod, piston hit the valve, and that's it. All the plugs looked great that came out of it. So we're gonna go ahead and start taking this apart and show you what we find. Ah, shit. All right, guys, it's the moment of truth. We're about to pull the oil pan off. But even though we've got over 25 years of Ford experience over here, me and Jeremy are so old, I'm not even gonna tell you how long we've been racing. We need an expert. And I heard the ultimate Shelby expert is in town, so here he is. Jason from 1320. How's it going, brother?
What's up, man? How are you?
So what's your diagnosis before we take this thing apart?
Well, I see a hole right there.
I didn't even see that. See, look, you're already, I'm just kidding.
And in my expert opinion,
yeah,
of experts, on the expert things of being an expert, that's a hole.
Look at that thing, man.
That's not good.
That's it like peeled apart, like it did, like, you know what I mean? Like there's a crack in the middle.
Yeah.
That's a interesting look. All right, Jeremy, you want to start whipping out the bolts? Now, I don't know if I caught it on the audio earlier when I was flipping the engine over, but when I flipped it over, there was a loud thunk. That was probably the rod or the piston moving, but I don't think the piston will move.
Yeah, let's double team this.
Man, this engine's been so abused, and now it's getting double teamed. Nah, I'd say it was already not happy though. What was that?
Yeah,
That did not sound good.
that didn't sound good at all. In my expert
I hear
opinion.
chunks like falling.
All right, here we go, guys.
The review.
This is it.
Oh, carnage.
Oh, oh, that's a lot of carnage.
In my expert opinion, you expertly killed this thing.
So we'll give away the big chunks.
Took out the windage tray.
Own a piece of overkill
Ooh,
after it was
nice.
killed.
That could have been a little starving problem too.
Man, that's
Crap, that made it there fast.
way worse than I thought. All right, we'll just leave that in there.
We need that.
Yeah, just keep any of the bigger pieces over there.
Yeah, I think that's one.
What is it? I have one of those in the half inch. I don't know if I have small enough.
The block looks good.
See right through it right there.
Well, there's window blocks.
So, all right, we'll keep breaking it down.
Holy.
You should ring.
Beam breaker.
We got it.
Want the dead blow?
That ain't good.
That's not what's supposed to happen. So the bearing spun, but you know, that's probably after it lost oil pressure. I doubt that happened. I don't think, do you think the bearing, like, do you think we had a bearing failure and the rod broke, or just broke? I think it just broke.
I think it broke. I think everything happened afterwards.
Yeah, the rod broke and then everything was collateral damage. I mean, when you have a failure of a rod at, I'd have to look at the log, but we were probably well north of 8,000 RPM when I lifted. That's 172 miles an hour. So the rod snapped, and then after that, you know, there's no way.
Went into the blower, so there was no oil left.
Yeah.
So after the piston squirter went.
Yeah.
Yeah, the piston squirter. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, once it ripped.
That might be from the heat treatment, maybe, but I don't know, man. Because didn't that get hot or no?
No, I don't see any heat in
It just spun the bearing.
Yeah, it just started to. Like, it literally just started to spin.
How's the bearing itself look?
Just started to get stuck.
I mean, that's just from that.
Yeah, that just started.
There's no long-term evidence here. I don't think this looks all new, don't you think? That just
could have been an imbalance. I mean, once this thing went out, the whole thing went out of balance.
Well, we probably lost oil pressure too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like you said, the squirter got knocked off.
We had a lot of oil pressure out of the exhaust, but I don't know that we had much left in the engine.
Yeah, a lot of oil went in the blower too.
All right, well, that's very interesting to me. Did it not?
It cracked.
No, that one came off with it. I mean, that definitely has a little damage, but not super bad.
No,
I don't think it was spawned.
I don't think it did either. I mean,
No, it looks fine. Yeah,
it
just
looks
the way
like,
it came
that just
off in
looks
it,
like,
I thought it
it
was.
just looks like wear. I mean, it doesn't.
It's not super bad, and that's, you know, 2 over from the failure.
I know, I'm stepping on it.
All right, we'll go ahead and break it down. I might do a time lapse for that. And then the next thing we really want to look at is the oil pump and the heads. Specifically, well, I want to see what kind of damage the heads might have gotten, but I want to see the head gaskets and see if we could see any signs of lifting the heads or any head gasket damage, which would have happened prior to it blowing up. Obviously, we're running it at 1,300 horsepower, which is crazy for a stock motor. So we're going to ignore that it blew up. We want to see what other kind of clues that we get and how far we can push these things for other people. You know, I was wondering at one point, it seemed like my car was getting heavier, and I think that's because of all the belt dust. Check this out. This is piece of belt that got wrapped around the crank pulley at one point. So just crazy, and obviously all through there and everything. So we got that off. Go ahead and, oh, I have a used oil filter for sale. As soon as I get this out, I'll be taking bids on this.
Platinum oil filter that's made out of unobtainium.
Right? Oh yeah. Ooh.
It's like a unicorn shit out.
Stripper glitter.
I don't think we need to cut it open necessarily.
No? I think you can see. I think you can see what you need to see.
Yeah, there's some chunks. Little pieces of metal there, but yeah, this is like chunked with shit. No surprise. All right, let's take a break in the carnage for just 1 second and talk about something positive, what we did to the car now. Power adder wise, we started off with a Hellion twin turbo sleeper kit. It's pretty much as it comes, even with the Hellion 64mm turbos. We did upgrade to the 6-inch intercooler. We did dyno one of these with the regular intercooler and it did great, but I went ahead with the 6-inch because we're going all out with the built motor. Speaking of that, it's built by TKM. It features a billet crank. The heads were done up by Head Games. It also has billet cam caps. I told TKM that I wanted to spin crazy RPM with that and they recommend it, so we went with it. Plasma Man intake, as you can see. Right now, it's not 100% done. It has the old fuel system, which we were able to max out on the dyno. So we're upgrading that in just a couple days. So no numbers, but we're gonna go ahead, show you a couple dyno pulls, and then we're gonna get back to the carnage. Got it. Oh no, and this one there too. That's a 10 probably.
It broke the studs with a tensioner?
Looks like it.
Tensioner.
Wow.
Grab that one too.
Oh,
The like locator on the tensioner broke off.
Where's the tension?
really?
Yeah.
Tensioner goes down before.
Yeah, look at that.
Holy crap.
Yeah, it broke both of them.
Probably was the motor block.
Damn.
What is that?
You know what that is.
All kinds of metal in here. Another piece of the oil scraper from the piston.
We would do this at home.
No. Yeah, normally you would collapse this and pin it. You can actually do that after.
Put everything
I do
on
that
TDC
sometimes.
though.
Well, that's a good handle.
Yeah, that's what it's for.
Yeah, I mean,
Finally figured it out.
alright. I'll plug that fan over there real quick.
Here.
I don't really see anything here, right? I mean, nothing really came on this side. This is the good side of the motor. So,
Yes, it's good on this side.
yeah. I don't really see anything out of the ordinary, really.
Like the back side.
Yeah. I don't really see a single thing. Do you? All that's normal. That's just like this covering, but you can tell that there's no intrusions. See how you can see it's shiny, and then there's a little bit of mark there from the gasket. If it was going between cylinders, you would see a line or heat or some evidence.
No, it'd be super messy with that.
All right.
Top fuel drag from Teardown.
Yeah. All right. This on?
Got a whole minute still.
Oh, that's where all the oil was coming from there, Jeremy.
Yeah.
I just got oil. Or something. But look at here. That's a little dings, a couple dings on the head. Nothing too bad though.
Where'd that bolt come from? It's a bolt head. Probably piston squirter.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, let's take a look at this. So we were wondering where all the oil was coming from in the blower or the exhaust. Of course, you guys saw that video. That explains it. This right here. Oh no, that wasn't doing anything. It was just sitting in there. It just, there we go. The piston. Let's see if I can get it out. Look at that. I mean,
no skirts.
at the bottom it's fucked up.
It's too bad there's a hole in the block.
It's really minor though. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a couple chunks, but it's not really as bad as you might expect.
It's good for 3,000 horsepower.
Yeah, and if you look at all the other cylinders, I mean, look at these pistons.
Yeah, they're in good shape.
They got little marks in them from all this metal that went through it, but the piston itself, even the one we took out.
that go?
The top side of it looks great.
Just need some skirts.
Bottom side, got a little wear and tear. That's where all the skirt was. Right here, here's the skirt of the piston. This is what you might see in like Mike Washington's super badass anime car. It's not much of a skirt, but that doesn't work too good when it's designed to have one. So, not too bad. Also, real quick, we decided to take the oil pump out. We didn't do that for you guys, and there's signs of like little tiny pits here and there. Actually, it's weird because I guess it's because it's aluminum. The pieces that are in it, like, see that right there? I don't know if you can see it or not, but I can scratch it off with my fingernail, and it's gone. Like any of those pits, see, like, look, you can feel them. It feels like it's messed up, but like right there, see all that?
Yeah.
You can like, not that I would do it, but you could probably polish this thing and it would work. Obviously, we'll get. All right, guys, there you have it. This pretty much tells the story. A straight up parts failure, I'd call it. The rod just straight up failed. Now, we were spinning high RPM with this, so you gotta consider RPM and power. I was estimating 1300 wheel. It could have been as low as, you know, maybe 1250 with heat and belt slip and all those sorts of things. But I was also spinning, not late in the game, but early on with the stock blower, I was spinning, you know, upwards of 8600 RPM. So was it RPM? Was it power? Probably a combination of both. RPM is definitely a huge factor when you're talking about a failure like this. But if you look at the other pistons, they look just about perfect, everything about them. So tune-up wise, I think we're great. Looking at this piston and the rods and everything, I don't think we could have done anything in the tune to really prevent this from happening. It's not from a spicy tune-up or too much boost. It's just probably too much power and too much RPM. We're gonna have a video real soon on this one and show you some crazy dyno numbers with the twin turbo. And one of the first events you're gonna see this thing at is the Indy half mile. So we're gonna put up a huge mile an hour, hopefully. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Share it with your friends, like it, and we'll see you on the next one.